Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're taking on one of the loudest legends of the Wild West. The idea that every day was a showdown at high noon. The version we all know from the movies is non-stop cowboy chaos, gunfights on Main Street, duels like clockwork, and towns that somehow function while everyone is one insult away from drawing their pistols. But what if I told you that in many real Western towns, the biggest threat wasn't a gunslinger, but a fine for breaking the rules? Because they had rules, they enforced them, and they charged people who ignored them. So the real question isn't just was the Wild West violent? It's this: was it actually wild? Or just extremely well advertised? Let's start with a myth, because it's easy to see why it's stuck around. The Daily Duel story is perfect for entertainment. It's simple, it's dramatic, and it gives you clear heroes and villains. It turns a messy, complicated place into a clean stage. Two men, one street, one final moment. Done. The problem is, real violence is rarely that neat. Real conflict is messy, personal, and inconvenient. It happens after too much drinking, during heated arguments, or between people with a long history. It happens fast, not in a scheduled showdown. That classic quick-draw duel. It's mostly a storytelling invention, born from dime novels and newspaper exaggerations, because it looks great on screen. In reality, a town trying to become a business hub doesn't want customers dodging bullets on their way to buy flour. This leads us to the biggest reality check about the West. Most frontier towns weren't trying to be famous for violence. They were trying to survive, attract settlers, and stay open for business. And that meant order mattered. So, in many places, towns created ordinances about carrying guns, public drunkenness, and disorderly conduct. Some towns restricted firearms within city limits entirely. Others expected visitors to check their weapons while they were in town. And yes, there were fines, because nothing says welcome to civilization like getting charged money for acting like a walking disaster. This is the part that clashes hard with the Hollywood image. A lot of the so-called Wild West was actually a society trying to build guardrails as fast as it could. Think about it logically. Towns were competing with each other. If one place got a reputation for constant gunplay, families wouldn't move there, merchants wouldn't invest, and travelers would stay away. A town with a stable reputation could grow. A town that felt unsafe would die. Law and order wasn't just a nice idea. It was a business strategy. Now, this doesn't mean violence didn't happen. It did. The 1800s were a harsh time, and the frontier had plenty of conflict. But the gunfight's everyday image is basically a highlight reel, pretending to be the whole movie. Most days weren't duels. Most days were just work. People were hauling supplies, building homes, running stores, fixing wagons, and herding cattle. They were trying to make enough money to get through the winter and hoping that trouble stayed far away. So why did the duel myth become the main story? Because sensational stories sell. Newspapers in the 1800s were competing for attention. A quiet week in a cow town doesn't sell copies. A dramatic shootout does. Then dime novels took those stories and cranked the drama up to 11. By the time early films arrived, the West had already been turned into a brand. Movies didn't invent the myth. They just supercharged it and made it global. The Daily Duel idea is also convenient because it turns history into a simple morality tale. If the West was pure chaos, then civilization looks like the hero arriving to save the day. But real history is more tangled. The West was a mix of disorder and order happening at the same time. There were rough people and crimes, but there were also courts, sheriffs, town councils, and businesses trying to stabilize everything. The wildness of the West wasn't a love of chaos. It was a struggle of building institutions in real time, under pressure. Laws existed, But enforcement could be spotty. Sometimes order meant protecting business interests more than ordinary people. The reality wasn't a cartoon duel. It was a stressful place trying to become stable while people argued over what stable even meant. So, the bottom line, the West had violence. But it wasn't nonstop duels on Main Street. Many towns created rules and penalties to reduce chaos because stable towns made money. The showdown image we all know spread because it was profitable, memorable, and perfect for storytelling. The Wild West wasn't just a constant gunfight. It was a place being built, argued over, marketed, and mythologized, all at the same time. And that's why the legend feels so real. It was being sold while it was still happening. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look behind the legend, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. See you next time.